Okay, so first let's just talk about like the lines that you're willing to play and how to get into them, right? Um,
Yep.
I'm
Are
just
you
gonna,
sharing your screen?
yeah, I'll share my screen
Okay.
and I'll just put some general lines up, and you can tell me if you're familiar with them or not, comfortable playing them or not.
Yep.
Um, let's say, hmm, uh, this one here.
Think of the echo also.
Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, there's some more niche ones, but uh, like I say, these ones are maybe less common to play around
There's the
right
GP
now.
Slayer, I think.
Yeah, I just put Belveth as those
Oh, Bella.
Slayers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
That makes
so
sense.
yeah, we have Warwick, Belveth, Demacia, Seraphine, Lysandra. They usually get played together right now. Yunara, Kaisa rerolls are mainly, I say, Ixtal reroll and Echo reroll, Persona
Mhm.
reroll, and there's the times where you can play Bilge. Very rare time to play Vigar. I don't think it's too much to talk about Vigar, but he is there. Okay, and there's like Shadow Isles. Yeah. And I think those would be the main lines this patch that you can consider. Is
That's
there
about right.
anything here that you just don't want to play or don't know how to play?
Um, I I'm not really comfortable with Nico with Ishtal reroll.
Okay.
It's like I barely touch it just because um I don't really find early Ishtal. Uh,
Okay.
there could be an argument where you make it towards like maybe end of stage 2 and you find the Ishtal and you can play it at like healthy HP, but other at that point I'm just playing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. I think the only ones I'm not comfortable with are probably the Lux, Demacia, um, Vigar, Warwick, and then maybe Misfortune. Um,
Okay.
even though I've played a ton of Bilgewater, but like the rest of the lines I'm very familiar with. I think the ones on the right, the top right you have, or the first row, are the ones I'm most comfortable with, including Echo.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the lines that I've played. I think the most. I did try Los Seraphine today though. That was the first time I tried it.
Oh,
That made it really well.
yeah. Yeah, the comp is like one of the best low A comps right now. So, um, yeah, I guess, well, the more lines that you know how to play and how to get into them, these your openers and line selection will be right because you can recognize a good spot for each line. Um, and say, if you had an opener for the lines that you are less familiar with and chose not to play it, then you have to like
Mhm.
kind of push yourself towards one of these lines, which the opener may not be as good for, right?
Right.
So, um, let's just talk about. I'll just go over it a little bit, like when you want to play most of these lines. Um, it has to do with both units, items, and augments offered, right? So I'll just say for Echo, I personally don't think he's like that good right now, but you probably still play him from the Echo opener with the Echo items, and you have like a real augment, right? Same
Yeah.
Sona, she's very strong with real augments on a roll. I mean, they're removing that next patch on 2-1 because it's too broken for Sona, but yeah, she's like good if you just have a like Demacia, like Jarvan Sona opener, but you're not that strong and you pick a real augment so you can play Sona. Belva, strong from just like the general Slayer opener, where you can make items like Sterax, Titans, Kraken, QSS, right? So that's from your like Kiana and Briar opener. And also you start with like Void Rek'Sai, then you can get the Rift Herald as well as Rek'Sai is a good 80 item holder. If you have any of these units and hit solo leveling, then they're really good to play into Belva because you can slam those like bruiser items, right? And
Yep.
yeah. Um, Seraphine lists mostly just played if you have Oriana unlock early with like the synergizing units. So like Vi, Invoker, right? Any defenders that go with that. You get early Loris, you can unlock Oriana and play into this. I think the like tempo of it is pretty strong. The only concern is that it might get contested a decent amount because it's definitely one of the stronger level 8 comps. But yeah, Yunar, you probably already know. You just play from your Ionia opener. Some people will like depending on the Ionia, right? I mean, mostly like spirits is like the strongest combat one. So some people will like lost streak into Ionia into Yunar to play that just because it's so strong. But otherwise, if you have like XP or Gold Ionia, uh, you know, pretty straightforward. Guys usually play from your Cogma Void opener if your where things are good. Uh, yeah, play 80 or AP based on your items. Kosa you play based on Viego, Viego 2 opener, if you can streak or not. Right? And then yeah, that's all pretty straightforward, right? And then
Yep.
I'd say thing about Ixchel reroll, I think you said like I need to have Ixchel early to play. This is actually like not that true, I think. If you watched in the tournament this weekend, Ixchel reroll was played a lot. And a lot of people didn't get in Ixchel until 3-2. So
Oh.
and they just like usually don't even cash very high. I mean, eventually they like the ones that win often can get to Brock, but sometimes they'll just cash like 200 or something, right? Especially because they only get Ixchel in at 3-2. The comp is just particularly strong because it synergizes really well with reroll augments. So like if you look at like too much value is really good with the comp. Prismatic tickets is very strong in the comp, and some people try to play with honor roll, but I think it's kind of hard to play with like Trace Sector, right? But I think it's mostly too much value in Prismatic Ticket, so those are like when augments kind of decide a line for you, and that's just because it has so many two costs to roll for and too much value, and also Bard synergizes really well with Prismatic Ticket, right? And pretty much once you like get the full board online, which is also easier now because Organa is easier to unlock, the board is just like really strong, right? So even without a cash out, you can win rounds on like full 3 stars because they also buffed board to like do more damage. So
Hmm.
yeah, and the Nidalee becomes like a good duo carry and has like the 3 star out. So um often you won't really play this like normally because you have Ixchel. You will play it because you have the augments to play it. Um Mygar, similar thing. Pretty much play it with Pandora's items so you can get 2 def caps or deadlier caps. So you can get 2 def caps. Yeah, you pretty much just like have yordles and make 2 def caps, and then you play 8 yordles and roll for Vygar. Some people do play for Vygar in like Demacia if you have like 2 def caps, because he's just a strong AP carry, but it is like really uncommon. Um,
Okay.
yeah, Misfortune, Bilge. I mean, you can get Bilge Emblem from Emelogans, and Emelogans are still very strong. Then you can probably play around it, or you just have a strong Bilge opener. You can consider it if it's just like what makes sense to make to slam your items, right? If you had to make 80 items on Graves. Otherwise, you can play Bilge opener into like Slayers or Yunara. But yeah, I think usually people now just kind of go to summon Bilge to get your item, and then they might just go back down and try to play like quality units with the MF carry. Um, it's just harder to greed items now because yeah, it's just like you just don't get as much because it's weaker and so on. Demacia is pretty straightforward, I'd say. Do you have a lot of Demacia units early? Then you can just play Demacia, like your Jarvan 2, Sona 2, right? Or you get your Poppy for free. And you kind of mostly just like, you know, tempo through that. You can also play through Oriana. Like strong Demacia opener is like this Jarvan, Sona, Oriana Vi, and then you just throw in like your Demacia units, like your free Poppy. And then yeah, this plays pretty like you can play this into the Seraphine or Lux, kind of just depends on how contested you are, and then maybe like if you natural more Demacia units or more built over Rel units. But pretty much just roll on 8s and then try to get your Galio, and then you get out of like the bad Demacia units. Like often you only play like 5 Demacia or 6, and try to play like better units like Swain and Shyvana and Tarek and Loris and stuff. So yeah, and then Warwick, actually like I play Warwick a lot in the cup. I think he's like a good line to play from a weak opener, and often like if you're holding to play Echo, like you're holding his on units, right? I mean, Vi is
Right.
one of the best units to hold right now because she unlocks uh, Oriana, but also plays into Zon. If this is your opener, then you can just kind of sit there and then wait until you get your Jinx, and then on 3-5 or maybe even like 3-3, level 2 get your Warwick, and then mainly on level 8 you play like 5 Zon plus a quick striker plus some defensive units, um, just some tank like you play Swain or Tarek or Garen or maybe even like Braum and Loris or something. But yeah, and he scales very well with like combat augments. So if you get something like comeback story, or maybe like the Infinity Force augments, um, then that's good too. And the reason he's like good for a loss streak is because like yeah, you can unlock him in stage 3, and then he's like pretty hard to kill in stage 3 as a 4 cost melee fighter, and also you can unlock Singe along with him if you're low. Okay,
Oh,
so any questions about that?
no?
Cool. So yeah, I think I mean there's a good amount of lines to play. Usually if the spot is like clear to play, but I think these lines, I mean I think Lux is pretty like straightforward, but also Nico is like, oh, if you see the real augments, then no one else is playing it, then that'd be an opportunity for you to play this line even from like no copies, right? Um,
Right.
if you have weak on opener, but you see the combat augments or the scaling augments, then you can think about playing Warwick. And yeah,
Okay.
so let's just look at some of your openers and what you played. Okay. Baron.
This one was a no-brainer, but this game felt bad. Uh,
Okay.
but I somehow managed to clinch it first.
You have any questions on like the opener part of it then, or what would you like to talk about?
Um, I guess my question was, was it correct to like commit to the Shadow Isles because this was one of the few percentages of the game where I just did not get a single item. And then when I went through the augment selection process, I could not find an item. So I wanted to see your thoughts on the from the augment selection to my decision after I selected it because I guess I chose Spoils of War even though I had a not so strong board and only one unit, one component because I couldn't get anything else.
Okay.
So I chose Spoils of War. After that, I looked at every other board, and then I decided to just level and then throw something on the board so that it would just feel stronger.
Okay.
And maybe get some gold in between. I don't know if
Um,
that was like the correct move or if there was something else I could have done.
okay, sure. Would you happen to know what your Ionia or Void is this game?
Uh, I think I checked it. I'm not sure if I did. Um, I'm actually not sure
Um,
if I did, which I usually do, but I don't remember if I did.
okay. I mean, VO2 is your strongest unit to play around just as an opener. Okay, I don't think you can sell this Rumble if you're try to buy Jarvan Pair. Um, oh yeah, let's also just talk about like like the for what leads into these lines. I'd say defend for frontline like defenders leads into the AP lines a lot. Yara
Mhm.
mainly plays through Bruiser, Kaisa, Belveth, and Zon play through Jugs. So Bruisers is like the least likely to hold unless you're playing through Ionia. Of course, like pairs are important, but I'd say like the single Alawi here isn't that enticing to me, especially if I have a Jarvan pair, right? So
Right.
yeah. Also, yeah, that's why we wait if we can. You have extra gold.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay here to unlock the York if you don't think you have anything else to play. I mean, you could just play like a 2 quick striker to something frontline opener, and you don't necessarily have to play through Shadow Isles. And then, so like we have no items, right? We don't really have to like commit to any line. But like, say you play around like TF, say your Ionia is good, and there's not too many people playing Ionia, you could just play TF, Viego, Shanalawi, and then just slowly play that into Ionia, right? Would be one thing I think about. You also have
Mhm.
optional jugs. You could hold like the Zon units and play to Warwick. And the reason I'm saying this is because you have a bow, so bow probably plays into AD a good amount of time, and also you have a melee fighter, so you like more likely to want to make melee items if you
Okay.
can. But yeah, I think like if you do plan to play around Vigo, you can't sell the TF, right?
Right, because I don't have quick striker.
Yeah, so you're like you have committed to this kind of opener on the board, but now you're like the way you're selling, you're committing towards like a different opener, which is like Bruiser Gunslinger is what you're keeping and like the prior pair. So I'd say just from that, like your opener now has gotten like a lot weaker.
Hmm.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So for augment, I would say crafting is not good here, right? Taylor's crafts is honestly not that bad. I mean, if you think about it, about what it offers, it gives you 2 components, 1 gold, and the value of the 2 units that you get. So let's just say on average you get like the 2 gold unit. Um, so it's like 5 gold and 2 components for a silver, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Okay, that makes sense.
like in this scenario, like when we're low on components, like that makes it even better, right? Um,
Right.
Copy Captain is something worse because we're low on components. Caretakers is actually a little better because we have a gold opener, so it's easier to push levels. So I'd say it should be between these two.
Okay. Well, I didn't think of table scraps because I guess I only read the champion portion, but I didn't read the item portion.
Yeah,
So
that's why it's that's why it's
yeah,
good because you get an item and that
that yeah.
that's
Now that I read it back, yeah, that was actually a better choice.
yeah, and yeah, spoils doesn't really make sense because your board is like too weak, right? Or not, it's just
Yeah.
not particularly strong. So yeah, from here I can see your opener is just gonna be like weak, and you're gonna hope to get value from spells, but doesn't really lead clearly into a line. And I feel like like okay, you have 2 packages here. You have the invokers and you have the shout owls. So you're playing into either of those. If you want to play into invokers, you need to keep Jarvan. Shout owls, I mean, you're just waiting for the warden units. But at this point, we don't really need Tristana or the Ionians, right? This is our
Right.
these are our units. So
Right. At the same time, I didn't have to sell that because I could have waited if I won that fight.
yeah, that too.
The
But
Yeah, the purpose of me leveling was just, throw invokers. Invokers are a little bit better. I have some frontline, and then I hope I hit the first few people with very weak boards.
sure. I mean, yeah, this is your
Um,
strongest board to play right now for everything. But I think you should like think about how to make how your board gets stronger from either of these 2 packages, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and like again, like also from selling the TF, like yeah, I feel like we're not focusing too much on like where our board is going.
Okay. No, that
Um,
makes sense. Um, I think if I just thought about synergies more, um, the TF could be thrown in, and then I could have just put like some suitable front line just hold.
yep. I mean, yeah, you're balancing making a strong board and like lines to play. But
Hmm.
I remember like we usually want to win the fights, so if anything, if you want to get into a certain line, like like you can just hold the Shen on the bench, hold the Shen on the bench. Figure it out later,
Right.
right? Cool. Uh,
Cool.
let's go to the next one.
So, this one I had an Ori unlock. Um, Let me see. I'm not sure if this opener was okay, but I want to see if there was anything else you would have preferred to do, or any other way, if that makes sense.
Okay. Hold the Kalen Ferrari, hold the layer pair. Sure. Uh, check the void. That's not bad. You probably still hold Cho'Gath anyway because you have a Briar. I'm okay
Yep.
with selling Viego if you want for Rumble because pairs with like Vi, you find Vi. Um, okay. So, I mean, your best unit to play around is Kiana too, right?
Right.
And if you're gonna do that, then what are you gonna play with Kiana too?
The Briar and the Blitzcrank,
Or the Cho'Gath, right?
the Briar and the Cho'Gath. You're right.
Yeah. So I would just put the Kianas and the Briar on the board because that's probably your best opener right now. I mean, you can keep Kalen on the board if you think you're going to play Oriana, but I don't see any units that synergize with Oriana in that right now. And I feel like your board is more playing around with Kiana with what you have. So,
Right. Um, I think here is where I was like deciding, and then I said I want to play. I wanted to play Oriana. So yeah, and
okay.
then I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, item drop wise, like these items are better for Oriana, but I'll just say you don't really don't have any of the units to play with her. Also, you
Right.
should probably just give up this Viego because we don't like if we don't have Viego two, then we're not playing Viego probably. Or if we don't have a quick striker like a Draven or a TF to opener, we don't need a Viego. So you should probably buy the Rumble
Right.
because Oriana needs defenders usually if you're planning to play around that. Okay, but like you could easily get like an item component like Augment here and still play around like Kiana. Anyway, probably not taking any of these.
Cooking pot is the only one I would take among the three, but that's still the least one I would want to take.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, Seraphim Staff is good if you're trying to play Oriana. Say like looking at our board, like it might make more sense to take like the BT or a bodyguard
yeah,
training.
I think yeah, I
But
think if I decide like I think if I decided to do the Slayer, the Bloodline training made the most sense.
yeah, like I mean, like here you get the you sold off your upgrades. We get the Oriana. Well, we get the Shen 2, which is good, so I guess, and we get the Sona. So now we have something to play around. But you can see like we didn't really have much of this earlier. So
This feels like I got saved by units that were just dropped in in my board. That's how
uh,
I feel.
yeah, a little bit, right? Like you
Yeah.
kind of throwing away the upgrades that you were offered, but uh, I mean, I could see an argument for it just because your items were like heavily AP leaning. Um,
Right.
but I wouldn't say it makes like that much sense, especially if someone else is in like an actual Oriana spot. Like if there's multiple people who actually have like defender Oriana openers, and like you know, be tough to play around. Like if you wanted to play around like Kiana, you'd probably just make like the Spirit Visage and keep the bow open to play like some AD line. But yeah, I mean, now from here, I mean your board is like fine, so I should probably play two Bruiser over two Invoker. Usually the tank trait is better to
Yeah.
play first. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now you're on your way, I guess. Cool.
Okay. Cool.
Um,
I don't remember what happened this game.
fine.
uh, yeah. I got two lost in the sauce, and then I also accidentally sold a 2-star GP in my bench. I was like one GP away from 3-starring it, and then I got delayed.
Mm. Three cost. Half of
Sacking.
spirits. Yeah. Everything is adrenaline thingy. Carapace. Okay, by Alawi pair. Um, I'd say it makes so much sense to put both Defender and Bruiser on the board, but I guess you really want to keep the Nico anyway, so it's fine. And okay, so
Yeah.
how much do you want to like? What what lines do you see here, and what do you want to play the most?
Um, I see an automatic Ionia opener. Uh,
Yep.
if yeah, it's pretty much just Ionia opener. Potentially Rek'Sai if I find a magical Cho'Gath at 2-1, but I don't mind the Rek'Sai pair either.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you think your void is good? And also, do you think it's like good to play around or to rely on getting a Cho'Gath?
nope.
Yeah.
I think my void is okay. My void is okay.
Okay.
It is not it's not good to rely on the Cho'Gath. So
Sure.
I think the automatic answer is Shen Zhen Zhao. Um,
Okay.
and then
And
maybe
then,
hold Nico.
well, what other lines are there that you see?
Invoker maybe if I could hit a one cost Sona.
Okay.
Um, could get an Ori.
How close are you to the Invoker board right now?
I have one defender. I have an Anivia, so a
Okay.
lot less close compared to the Ionia right here.
Okay. And
Um,
then lastly is Bilge, right?
yes, lastly's Bilge. I put TF there just because in case I get dropped two items, I could unlock Graves without having
Okay.
to do much.
Well, say to get drop two items, do you think you should unlock Graves? Like, is that better than just playing through any of the other lines? Because
Um,
I'll also say you're gonna have to pick one and make 10 in like 2 turns. So
right.
the sooner we can figure out which one is like the ones that we lean towards, the better.
It depends on those 2 items realistically, because like, um, I could get Graves, and then I have a Mundo. I have Double Bruiser, Bilgewater Start, which it's not I don't think it's super strong, but, like, I think it's okay.
Okay. Cool. And now that we've gone through all that, uh, I'll say what I think is I think it's on your strongest opener is definitely playing around a Lowy pair and Shen or Mundo, right? So
Mhm.
that would mean Ionia or probably Bilge,
Yep.
if you want to win on 2-1. Uh, so Invokers we're probably too far from. We don't have any way to unlock Warrior right now. We don't have any pairs. All we have is Nico and Anivia. So
Yep.
honestly, like could just toss that aside and just like focus on the cruisers. Rek'Sai, I think you can consider just off like maybe you just want to hold it. So yeah, you can high roll Rek'Sai too slash Shogath. But Adrenaline is not very good. But I would maybe like if you want to hold Rek'Sai pair over Nico on that small off chance. But I think most of the time we are playing one of the bruiser lines. So yeah, I think you could here sell Nico and Nivea, buy Shen and Zin, and maybe keep one Rek'Sai, and maybe a gold comes out by Rek'Sai. Um, yeah,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, but I think here, um, I think if you're playing Bilge or Ionia, you should probably want to make Infinity Edge and not Sterax. Uh,
Yeah,
if you make Sterax, then you're playing Bilge and just layers, which I guess is fine. Um, yeah. Okay. Down to, I mean, the item augment is probably the best one here.
I
We're
agree.
trying to play around Bilge, and yeah. Okay, going with that one. I guess could consider looking competition if you wanted, but yeah. I guess now you're playing Bilge into Slayers, which I don't think is necessarily. I think that's like fine
Yeah.
to be honest. I think is
I
technically
think
like
an IE would have been better. You're absolutely right. I think the IE would have been better.
well, okay. I think IE is better to play for Yunara or MF, but I think if you think that, if we know we're getting Graves and we can play either MF or GP, then you can just pick the one that you think is better. So if you think that GP Slayers is better, then you make Sterex, right? And I would argue that
Yeah.
I actually do think Slayers is better than MF right now. So I think in that respect, Sterex is like fine. Just means you're just only playing Slayers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, yeah. So cool. You had a lot of different packages you can navigate around. Um, I think Village is probably the strongest one you have because we don't have Jin pair or Shen pair, so it'll be stronger to play around the 2 costs than play around the one cost, right? So
Right.
I think this one actually like worked out fine. I don't know if it's for the same exact like reasons that you thought at the time, but does that all make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah. The only
I
concern would
think
be like we are committing to Slayers and maybe we get contested or something. I don't know, but if you want to unlock Graves, you
yeah,
gotta make something. So
I was contested with Slayers. That was the biggest issue. Well, not really, but um I think I could have gone my most comfortable route of Yunara.
yeah, I think IE is
Um
definitely the more flexible one that likes to play Yunara or MF if you're too contested. But
yeah. Uh yeah, it's just how I see it. But yeah,
yeah, and
you're right.
you can just keep you can play Bilge for we go down the game and then play Yunara later and just like hold on to the Shen because the level 8 Yunara board like the only low cost unit you really need to Shen. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, okay. Um, last one. See if you check the Ionia or not. Okay, XP. Uh,
I think I was
yeah,
a little lost here. I don't know why I put the Ash in or if I was just too late.
I think you timed out. You're a little distracted or something, but we definitely need to buy this Sona pair. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you sold the Ash, it'd be a lot easier. But yeah. Okay. Well, now we have more Ionia units, so we can play around those. Don't think you need Ash at all. Don't really know why you're holding a blitz on the board because there's literally nothing here that synergizes with the blitz. So I just should put the second gen.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gear, your main synergies are Ionia and Defender Demacia, and you can get
Mhm.
Oriana from here. So you'd have like a Invoker opener, and
Yeah, I think
probably sell the Ash for the Nico if you have time. But assume you're a little distracted or something. Okay. I find it interesting that you insta flip spreading roots. Do you not like this augment?
um I have mixed feelings about it. It always it not always, but like it can lead me to confusion whenever I pick it. So like it really just depends on
Uh-huh.
like if I want to try it out or not. Um I think majority of people will pick it though because it's really good.
Yep.
Um yeah, but for me sometimes it just leads to confusion.
Okay.
Which
Yeah. I'd say like one way to put it is, and honestly, I've avoided picking this too. I didn't feel like it, but like the augment itself, right? It gives you two emblems. I say emblems
yeah,
are like, it depends on the emblem, but like they give stats that are like maybe 70% of an item, right? Do you agree? Or like 65% of an item, like
so
the
around yeah,
yeah
it's usually stats or effects, right? That's like
yeah yeah
what
yeah.
emblems
So
do.
like yeah, so just like off of that, like you do get like 1.5 ish items by like clicking
Or
this, right? Like
mhm,
they still do something on your board even if you don't activate the traits. And then after that, if you get to activate the traits, then it gives you even more value, right? And like
right.
already like big grab bag or big item grab bag, whatever, gives three components, which is 1.5 items. So like spreading roots is like close to that or already around that value in terms of items, and then it gives you traits. So that's kind of why it's just really strong. And even if you can't like perfectly use all the traits, like it'll probably end up being useful to use like at least one of them. I feel like,
Mhm.
yeah, would motivate you to try to pick it more. You can, especially if your opener doesn't feel that like strong or great direction wise. Then you can use spreading roots to decide which way to go. Um, cool.
That makes sense. Yeah. I just have never been comfortable taking spreading routes.
Yeah. So, what were you planning to click here?
Uh, like to pick
Uh huh. All right. I
since I had like a potential Ionia opener, I was like hoping to look for something that could supplement that.
okay.
Um, I don't think it's Infinity Protection if it's Ionia, but I could have gone something completely different if I picked Infinity, right?
Uh huh.
Um, but I don't think I had items necessarily for. Oh well, I kind of do. Um, I do roll these two, and then I pick a late scale, like a late scale that gives me XP.
Yeah. So at this point, you're saying you're gonna pick. You were saying you're gonna pick Spear's Will to play Ionia, right? Is what you're defaulting, and then you flip this, and then you're gonna pick Makeshift instead. So that's why you flip Spear's Will. Um, I'm just like checking if that's your like logic of what you're willing to pick.
Um, I don't think I had a specific. You know, I think it would be better next time in the future if I just do them in order of importance because I've just been looking at them and deciding I don't want X amount, and then I flip them in no particular order. That's
Okay,
why.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
like it is possible that you think these are all like you really don't want to take any of these, so you just flip them all, right? It's usually
yes,
not
that
great. You should understand which one you're willing to take at worst case, right?
right.
Especially if you know if they're like good augments or not. Like you know that spreading roots is good, even if you don't like it. But like you should be like, okay, well, it's probably better than like Spear's Will or Infinity Protection, so I'll click it. I'll flip it last, right?
That makes sense.
um, if you think this is the best one, that is. So it should show in your flipping logic what you think is the best out of your options at all times, because you should be ready to pick one if needed, right?
Yes.
Um, okay, so I'm just gonna say based on our opener, we like it's not strong in any way, right? I wouldn't say it's strong in any direction. I mean, you do have Jim Pair and Shen. You don't really have a Breezer to play with it yet. You have Rage Blade, which can play you into Nara. You have some defender stuff, I guess. Yeah, is there a component here? Yeah, you just didn't pick up your component.
Yeah, I should have picked that up, but it's a
But
sword.
okay, it's a sword. Okay, well,
Yeah,
anyway, you could play into invokers using that. Like if you picked up the Nico Ray, you can
right.
like get the Oriana. I'm just saying this because we really don't have any pairs except Jin pair, so I don't think we have a strong board or like super strong pull towards like playing a certain line, right? I'd say because we're not very strong, we want to pick an augment that either gives us a direction or scaling, right? So
Mhm,
Spear's Will is like immediate item and strength, which just doesn't really fit with our board. Striking Roots will
right.
give us direction and will give us items. Infinity Protection gives us scaling for sure, right? And going back to our line discussion, you click Infinity Protection, it's very strong to play into either Belbuff or Warwick. So, um, and if you add Bow, Sword, uh, Rod, then like you easily just go like Rage Blade Titans Belbuff, or you can make like Titans like Sterix this guy, and then use the Rod for something else like Morello on your
Yeah,
Singed or whatever, right?
or I could just put Gwynsu's on the Jinx, right?
Yeah,
Like
or you put like Winzus on
make those
Jinx.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. So I think like those actually be like the good lines to play from the spot if you don't want to pick Strang Roots. Like Infinity Protection is pretty good if you want to just Lost Streak into those lines.
Hmm.
Um, and I think like knowing that you can do that off the augment is important because like sometimes augments will give you like those lines, right? So
Okay.
yeah, I think definitely these two are like the best picks here, and just in general are very like good picks. Cool. And then I mean you pick late game scaling, which is pretty much just like a I'd say like a mediocre-ish uh, XP augment. It's like patient study, but
Yeah,
worse. Um,
it's middle of the ground.
yeah,
XP augment.
yeah, and you're pretty much now playing Ynar from like a weak Ynar opener. Like you don't even have you don't have Ionia or Bruiser right now, right? So like
Right.
you wouldn't think there's like this spot doesn't really scream Ynar, right? And you actually look at your shop, you have Vi, Blitzcrank, Caitlyn, Defender. It actually make a lot of sense to play like Warwick from this spot if you took the other augment. I mean, not that we knew we had the shop, but like you know, um,
No,
uh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's still right. I think you're absolutely right.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, and I think that is why like it is hard to know some of these things, but just if you do ever like watch like the tournament games or some pros play, you'll definitely see them pick augments like this a lot more, right? Like I don't know when's the last time I saw in my game someone pick late game scaling, but I know for sure I see infinity protection a lot into those kinds of lines. So
Hmm.
yeah. Um and it just makes sense, right? You're weak, so you should pick something that scales in it later because you're gonna lose anyway. Right? Yeah, we're gonna lose early anyway, so we'll try to win later somehow.
Right.
Um, okay. Have any other questions about these games or just like the opener stuff in general?
No. Not necessarily. Uh, the no, not really. I think
Okay.
it's just my comfortability. I think everything just stems from my comfortability with like heading into the lines, right?
Yeah.
But like I'll see something and then I'm like, oh, I could do XYZ, right?
Mhm.
Um, but I tunnel so hard on that that I don't really have any other option. I lose the ability to like see any other options. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the more options that you are aware of, the easier line selection gets because you can
Yep.
be like, oh yeah, I'm in a good spot to play this stuff. I think like there is like meta TFT has an augment tier list. I think so he's like spreading roots is pretty high up here. So even if you don't like it, probably if you click it and figure something out, it's probably pretty good for you. Infinity projection is pretty high up here. And then like a late game scaling is in the B tier, so it's something not as good. And then like I
Is
want
is it ever worth to take spreading roots plus on 3-2? I don't like. I guess if you're
um
lacking direction, it makes the most sense, right?
yeah, spreading root splits is actually some people would consider this the better one because it gives you a reforger. Um
Oh, okay.
yeah, pretty much if you look at the lines, a lot of them will have like good emblems that make them a lot stronger, right? I mean,
Right.
obviously, like if you're playing the Demacia line or the Ionia line, then those spats are good. But like even the the pans, like you can find ways to use Quick Striker, Slayer, all these defender. Like the tank ones are really flexible, like Jug, Bruiser. Um, Warden is very strong. Some of them are very slashable, like Piltover. Um, and yeah, or like Disruptors, like good in AP. So yeah, usually if you get two emblems and a Reforger, and if you have like another Reforger, then it's like pretty good to click. I mean, there are sublines that don't use emblems as well, but like if you were playing like Lux, or sorry, Seraphine Lysandra, like let me just put the board on real quick. Um, Here, then like we can just look at all these traits. Any of these are gonna be good for you. Um, and if you get anything flex like Jug, Bruiser, like there is technically like a flex spot here. Like I know it is usually like a disruptor, like a Zir, but you don't necessarily have to. Maybe you just get like Jug or Arcanist or something, but you can also like fit that onto the board. Or you can ignore it. I mean, but there's like yeah, you get two of these, so you'll probably find something to use, right? Or you can like pivot your line if you're like creative enough. But um, yeah, and yeah, I do think if you don't have a good grasp of like which augments are stronger than others, I mean, augments are definitely stronger than others, which is why they're like tier lists like this. You can definitely just kind of review this one or the meta TFT one. You get an idea of like,
Hmm.
oh, if I see this and it makes any kind of sense in my spot and it's in the S tier or the A tier, like I can probably click it. They actually like late game scaling more, but I mean they like spreading roots more. So and Infinity Protection too.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and like it's interesting, like like too much value. It's up here. Oh, it doesn't say is that pretty much means you probably want to play extra reroll if you have it. Um, you can also play like a Aphelios reroll. There's some other
Or
lines
Echo Reroll, which is
or
not
Echo
super great,
reroll.
but
It's like not as good,
yeah.
I'd say, in Echo reroll. You probably just choose one to play one of the others, right? Um, if you knew how to play the metas. So yeah.
I'm curious, is there a reason why Aphelios Reroll is not on the tier lists? Or is that just like or maybe I just
Um,
haven't seen it, but like I feel like it's just not there.
oh, I think it's like I mean, I think some people haven't really I don't think it really picked up that much. Like it was very popular in China, and I think it's like extremely situational. I think people mostly
Mhm.
choose to just play like the Ixtal reroll with too much value, right? I mean, if you have too much value, you pretty much want to play Bard because he like fits so well with it. Um,
Right.
I think Aphelios reroll is pretty much like an offshoot where it's like if you did start off with like IE or bow item, right? Then you
Hmm.
can play like a Aphelios reroll, and it's pretty much just like a very high tempo comp um, where you just roll heavily for a great frontline because the Aphelios is actually very strong in the early to like mid game. So um, yeah, I
What
mean
what is this version of the Aphelios Reroll? Because the original one I saw was Bruiser Frontline. This one has
yeah.
this one
So
has like Defender and then what, Juggernaut or Bruiser? I forget.
uh, usually you play this and then
Oh,
this
Warden.
yeah you play Warden until you get Pilt. You have to play Defender. This eventually gets you the Italy for later, and you just have a bunch of frontline to play around like Aphelios, which is like a scaling 80 carry, right? And you usually drop Shinjao for like Braum. I'd say it's definitely not very common right now. Not many people play it, especially because Exalt Real is so popular. You kind of get these units like contested, right? So that's
Right.
probably why. But it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's a rare comp that you probably only play like once every like 100 games. But if you do see a spot to play it, then more power to you. Um, yeah, I mean it makes sense, right? You
Okay.
have 80 items and you have too much value, then like Aphelios is like a good 80 carry for that. And yeah, I think this
Right.
is just stronger than Bruisers because like the units just offer better traits and better scaling into like core costs. So yeah, um,
I agree.
cool.
Cool.
And if you want, we can like do one
We can do
H1
one.
practice.
So
Yeah,
is this a separate client
yeah. This,
or
this is the ones I've been doing with you. It's in the tournament clients. You can't actually make
Oh,
single player games in the normal client. So if you ever play in the trials
I do
or the
not
cups, then they'll
tolerate
give you
they
a
give you this.
cowardice.
yeah.
Does it go away after, or like
Um,
do you get to keep
I
it
think
like?
the account probably gets deactivated at the end of the set. So
Okay.
yeah.
Alright, so XP.
Oh, sorry. I had opened my outplayed. It wasn't one.
Next time, choose the
I'm
right
sorry, what to do?
side.
Caitlyn, and then I don't know. I'm not too. I would probably buy the Caitlyn. Throw Caitlyn Vi in there.
I'm glad you'll have my back, Vi. Let's keep the
Oh wait, no,
chaos
take
to
that
a
out. Take that out.
minimum,
Take that
shall
out.
we?
Take
High
that out.
five,
Yeah.
cupcake.
Um. Sorry about that.
Wrong move.
Oh, I would like the double Jin, but um. Oh, is that Rumble?
Oh yeah, I just hover the rumble.
Uh,
Okay, what do you want to do here?
I'd,
Adrenaline.
yeah, I would check the. Is it adrenaline?
Yeah, it's
I
adrenaline.
would throw the. I would throw the three Demacia in. Um, from here it actually might look like a Demacia. Like it just looks like a Demacia opener. Um, 2, 3, 4. You can't sell to make money. No.
Find me
Probably
great
by.
foes.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Oh, I already saw that. Okay, from here.
Um, it's not one. I don't think I have a particularly strong board. Uh, it's not. It's not 3. It's not 2.
It's not two.
Oh, I was thinking about 2. I was thinking about 2 or comeback story, but
Okay.
like I don't want 1. Uh, it might be 2. Because I was thinking of 3, but like 2 I think is just better.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, and then just buy the Sona, buy the Rumble.
Symphony of justice.
Then just play it out. But I think I have a
The heart
I
of
think I have a
Piltover
Lux
is its
like
people.
like a Lux game going on. I guess Demacia Lux, or just Demacia.
What would you like to make here if you had to make something?
It's probably Shojin and what is it? What's the other one? Armor and glove.
Okay, show them that best.
Armor
Okay,
glove.
sure.
Steadfast. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's just talk about that one. Um, see my outplayed.
Yep.
Okay. So, just whenever you see Vi, you can think this is both Oriana and Zon if you want to play it.
I didn't need the Caitlyn, huh? I just thought about it. I was like, I didn't need the Caitlyn.
Yeah, you don't need
Had Vi
Caitlyn
already.
because Vi gives you Oriana if you want. So,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, Caitlyn is
I
there
just
if you
don't.
want long shot for your Vayne, right?
Yeah.
I would say here because you have a Vi, and you can play around Oriana. You probably want to just pile buying the Rumble, so you have a defender
Hmm.
with the Vi, and yeah, your best opener right now would be just 2 defender, 2 long shot built over, right? Or you can unlock
Right.
Oriana. Yeah, you can hold a Jin pair, but we don't have any supporting Ionia units, so um, I could see just selling the Vayne because uh, we can unlock Oriana, right? And I think in terms of unit
Mhm.
strength early, like I think Oriana is probably a little bit weaker than Vayne just because 2 costs and 3 costs, but Oriana is still pretty strong, and we have a tier, so like chances that we play around Oriana might be a little higher.
Right.
And we don't have any Demacia units right now to accompany Vayne, right? Now we do hit Demacia units, so we can think about holding Vayne more. I think that because we have Demacia and we have Pilt and Woker,
Hmm.
we don't really need to worry about the Jins. You can hold the Rumble just in case you hit Rumble too. Uh, yeah. And here, I definitely think you have a Shojin right now, so you can just make the Shojin if you want to unlock Oriana, or you can unlock Poppy if you wanted to, and just like throw on the rest of them. But we should wait and see, of course. And I think the best opener you have is probably to unlock Oriana and then play 2 Invoker, 2 Defender, just because like item wise, like Shoshin Bane is not gonna be strong. You get a glove, I can see playing for IE Vayne. Um, but I would say like the Vayne version of Demacia is just not as strong right now. Like most people play through Lux, and if you're gonna play through Lux, then you want AP items, so you should probably play through the AP carry, which would be Oriana, right? Or Sona too. But because you don't have Sona pair, then we're more likely playing through Oriana. Does that make
That makes
sense?
yeah.
Okay. Could technically, if you want, go through the Noxus route with LeBlanc, but I think that's just weaker than playing the build. So yeah. So I think on this round, I would probably just like make like Shonen Belt to unlock Oriana, or you can wait see Augment. But I think it might happen a good amount of the time. The only reason that you would feel bad about doing that is because um, it's like too contested or something. But even like Oriana can play into Demacia, right? You literally just play her as your invoker, and API and
Right.
hold her until you find Lux. And like yeah, like I said again, like she's just a quality 2 cost unit that will be better than a one cost unit, and will be better than Vayne just because she can hold APIs, and she also synergizes with the vibe. Okay, here it's definitely not spoils. I think buried is S tier prismatic augment. Let's give you a lot of items. It'll handle your item problems for the rest of the game, so you can just pick econ and combat after that, and it'll let you build your like carry items, tank items, and utility items. So I think this is good. Hard commit. I actually think like I consider it if I thought like AP like Demacia Oriana was too contested. You can take it as an
Hmm.
out because your board is like fairly weak. So this is like an econ augment and a directional augment, right? It actually gives you a
Right.
lot of money. You get 7 gold every stage, so that's like pretty good amount, and you get a unit. So like right now it'll give you like 9 gold in terms of like combined unit value, and it gives you the emblem. Um, just so you're aware, uh, it only gives you emblems that have 5 costs to them, and it's only
Oh,
traits and not origins. So, uh, hard commit. These are the only emblems that you can get, and these are the only units that you can get. I'm not
oh, so
100%
you can plan
sure.
around it.
Yes. So, I'm not exactly sure if like unlocks will affect this. I don't think they do, but maybe like if you unlock a singed while playing Juggernauts, like maybe you get singed for free. I don't know. But otherwise, if that doesn't work, then like, oh, if I get Disruptor, I am guaranteed to get Echo, the Malzahar, then Seraphine. So you can just like easily like if you get this, it's pretty clear path into playing Lissandra Seraphine, right? If you get
Right.
Gunslinger, you get the Jinx, you get the Lucian Sentinel later. People often play this into Warwick because Warwick is very good with the Gunslinger emblem, and it gives you the econ to get there, right? Juggernaut, you can play
Mm.
around anything, honestly, because you get the Swain, and it's just like a good item that you put on your tank. Quick Striker, you can play into like Yunara, but also it's just a good item that you can put on someone. Um, and yeah, Vanquisher, you usually play into Slayers. You get the Ambessa for free. Wardens, you can play into
Mm.
probably Freljord because you get the Braum. Throw this on like
Yeah.
Sidoni or a Tark. But yeah, so
Mm.
um, Argument is actually not bad from like a weak opener because it gives you econ to get to whatever comp you want, and it gives you pretty clear direction, giving you like 1 copy of each unit, right? So
I did not know this. Okay.
yeah,
That's I would actually pick that. Well, I don't know. Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
think
think
it would be higher priority though. Like I don't think over buried treasures, but yeah.
yeah, Berry Chargers is still like quite good. I could see you not wanting to play it just because your board is like maybe not particularly strong, but you have the Jarvan pair going for you, and you can unlock Oriana. So I think Berry Chargers is fine here. And then you do click have comeback story, and I think if you click take this, then you're pretty much committed to lost streaking into Warwick, probably. Um,
Right, but I didn't have anything that opened into Warwick other than
I
that
mean,
Vi.
you have a Vi and a
Here
Sterak's,
But it,
which like could be enough. Like I've literally, in my tournament games, I had like games where there's like 4 people unlocking Oriana, and I just cannot
mhm,
like get into that contest, right? Because my board's too weak, and I don't have econ to get into that. So instead, I'll
right.
opt into taking comeback story to play the less contested line.
Okay.
It
That
carries
makes
some
sense.
risk because I had to play lost streak, and maybe I'll miss. like lose, but like it's still better than contesting people who all have like better spots than you, right? So
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, I think Barrett's fine. And then like as you said, I think making Shojin and Steadfast is like good here. But I would definitely consider unlocking the Oriana here. So
Right.
yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. Um
Okay.
yeah, if you are curious about augments, literally all the augment tables are here, so maybe just take a quick
I
look through
actually
them.
might actually
Um
just start looking at it like
to
tonight.
yeah, it kind of tells you how to play around each of them, right? So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Cool. Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. See ya.